And that's the end of the first half. As the teams head to the locker room, the Spartans lead the Bulldogs by a score.
You guys stink.
Geez, Coach, we're only down a couple of points.
No, I mean you guys really smell. You need to hit the showers. And here, I got every one of you new bars of soap from the Sterling Soap Company. Each bar is artisan crafted using natural ingredients and essential oils. They also have shave soaps, colognes, beard balm, and a whole lot more. Now get in there.
But Coach, we have another half to play.
I don't care. I can't stand to be around you.
A few minutes later.
All right, bring it in tight. You guys are still playing terrible, but you're smelling great out there. Now listen, you're going to need to stock up for the rest of the season. We got a lot of tough games left. So go to sterlingsoap.com after the game. That's STIRLING soap.com. You got that?
Yes, Coach.
Great. Sterlingsoap.com on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sterlingsoap.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Today, we're going to look back on some San Francisco 49ers history, and more specifically, we're going to focus on their 1981 season. The San Francisco 49ers franchise began in 1946 in the All-American Football Conference. The team posted a winning record in all 4 seasons of the league's existence and had an impressive 12-2 mark in 1948. But unfortunately for the 49ers, they were in the same division as the Cleveland Browns, the league's best team. With the league struggling to survive, down to 1 division and only 7 teams remaining, the 49ers finally got their chance to face the Browns in the 1949 championship game, but lost 21-7. The league folded and the 49ers joined the NFL in 1950. From 1950 to 1959, their record was 63 wins, 54 losses, and 3 ties. Their only postseason appearance came in 1957, when they blew a 27-7 lead to the Lions. From 1960 to 1969, the 49ers' record was 57 wins, 74 losses, and 7 ties, and they never made the postseason. After a 4-8-2 record in 1969, there was no reason to expect the 1970s to be any different. But the 49ers surprised everyone by going 10-3-1 in 1970 and then upsetting the heavily favored Vikings in the playoffs. They lost to the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, but returned to the title game the following season, where they lost to the Cowboys again. In 1972, they lost to the Cowboys again, this time blowing a 21-3 lead in the divisional playoff game. They never recovered, and from 1973 to 1980, the 49ers' record was a dismal 39 wins and 79 losses. But the 49ers were about to shock the football world in 1981. The 49ers lost their first game of the 1981 season to the Lions, 24-17. But there were bright spots. The defense held running back Billy Sims to 59 yards on 21 carries and sacked quarterback Gary Danielson 4 times. On offense, receiver Freddie Solomon caught 8 passes for 94 yards, including 1 touchdown. In a Week 2 game against the Bears, quarterback Joe Montana connected with Freddie Solomon on a 46-yard touchdown pass, giving the 49ers a 14-0 lead. By the third quarter, the Bears had scored 17 unanswered points, but the 49ers came back to win 28-17. The 49ers defense did a good job containing running back Walter Payton, who carried the ball 27 times for 97 yards. Offensively, Joe Montana, who had spent his first 2 seasons as the backup quarterback, had an excellent game, completing 20 of 32 passes for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns. His main target was once again Freddie Solomon, who caught 5 passes for 113 yards and 1 touchdown. In a Week 3 game against the Falcons, the 49ers outgained Atlanta 386 yards to 363, but the Falcons won 34-17. San Francisco offense turned the ball over 3 times, and the defense couldn't stop quarterback Steve Bartkowski, who, although he only had 13 completions, it was for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. The defense also struggled to contain running back William Andrews, who gained 85 yards on just 12 carries. Dating back to the final 3 games of the 1980 season, the 49ers were 1-5 in their last 6 games, and there didn't seem to be much reason to think things would improve. But the league was about to find out. This was not the same old 49ers team that everyone beat up on. The 49ers and Saints were tied 7-7 entering the third quarter when Montana connected with Solomon on a 60-yard touchdown pass. In the fourth quarter, rookie cornerback Ronnie Lott returned a 26-yard interception for a touchdown. 49ers defense allowed 413 yards and struggled to contain running back George Rogers, who gained 125 yards on 25 carries. But it allowed only 2 touchdowns. The final score was San Francisco 21, New Orleans 14. In a Week 5 game against the Redskins, safety Dwight Hicks returned a fumble 80 yards for a touchdown, and then added a second touchdown on a 32-yard interception return. The 49ers defense forced 6 turnovers and cruised to a 30-17 victory. The 49ers were 3-2, but since they hadn't played anyone with a winning record, no one was convinced they were for real. That was about to change. The perennial powerhouse Dallas Cowboys were coming to town and were expected to knock the 49ers off their high horse. But before the Cowboys knew what hit them, they trailed 24-0. Dallas scored a touchdown before halftime, but a 78-yard touchdown pass from Montana to Dwight Clark extended the 49ers lead to 31-7. Ronnie Lott's 41-yard interception return made the score 38-7. The final score was San Francisco 45, Dallas 14. The 49ers defense held the Cowboys to just 192 total yards. Joe Montana completed 19 of 29 passes for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. His main target, Dwight Clark, caught 4 passes for 135 yards and 1 touchdown. The 49ers traveled to Milwaukee County Stadium for a Week 7 game against the Packers. The 49ers offense gained 337 yards, but managed only 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. The defense held Green Bay to 241 yards and just 1 field goal. Third-year quarterback Joe Montana was establishing himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. In this 13-3 win, Montana completed 23 of 32 passes for 220 yards. The 49ers jumped out to a quick 14-0 lead against the Rams when Joe Montana connected with Freddie Solomon for a 14-yard touchdown and with Dwight Clark for a 41-yard touchdown. The Rams came back to cut the lead to 14-10, but the 49ers held on for a 20-17 victory. The 49ers defense didn't have one of its better days, giving up 401 yards, but it stopped the Rams when it mattered. Offensively, Montana had another outstanding performance, completing 18 of 32 for 287 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dwight Clark caught 8 of those passes for 109 yards and 1 touchdown. In a Week 9 game against Pittsburgh, Joe Montana didn't have one of his better days, throwing 2 interceptions, one of which was a 50-yard touchdown return by Mel Blount. The defense struggled to stop Franco Harris, who gained 104 yards on just 17 carries, but it forced 6 Steelers turnovers and won the game 17-14. The Falcons came to town for a Week 10 rematch, and the 49ers were eager to avenge their early season loss to Atlanta. In that game, the 49ers defense struggled to stop Atlanta's running and passing games, but not this time. William Andrews was held to 61 rushing yards, and Steve Barkowski was intercepted 3 times and sacked 3 times. 49ers receiver Dwight Clark had another big game, catching 7 passes for 128 yards. The final score was San Francisco 17, Atlanta 14. The 49ers record stood at 8-2, and the league took notice. That will conclude this week's podcast. Join me again next week, and we'll have part 2 of the 1981 San Francisco 49ers. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.